you've got to make a concerted effort to do a little bit more in terms of, getting in the training room, getting your, prehab in, getting your foam rollers, cold tubs, all that stuff. And, our guys do a really good job of that for the most part throughout the season. You try to put a pretty big emphasis on it, but yeah, it's difficult. I remember when we coached in this conference last, we had a pretty good plan in terms of keeping our guys fresh, but still, getting the reps that you need to get, because the offense and defense and special teams are different schemes, than what you just saw. And so, we had to jump right back into it. I know our staff is, like zombies right now. I think we got to bed at 5 o'clock or so on Saturday night or Sunday morning, and we were up here at noon getting ready for East Carolina. Didn't have any time really to rehash a whole lot about the previous game, and probably a good thing, to know that we've got to get over that extremely quickly. And we've dug ourselves in a hole and created a one-game season. And thank God it's on Thursday at this point, because there was no time to wallow. And they're fresh. They're coming off a bye week. That's a heck of a deal to have to play or get to play a team at home after a bye week that played the previous weekend and has to go on the road. So they'll be fresh as well. We know that, and they're playing pretty good the last few weeks, and we're going to have our hands full.
Based on the stats, it looks like a team that passes quite a bit, and you've got some injuries among the defensive backs. How are the freshmen that played last week coming along?
Well, C.J. Hurd continues to play really well for us on that side of the ball, and I know Lawrence Johnson got some extended action. I would say probably up and down. Really showed some signs of a really bright future, but made some freshman mistakes, and so we're if Wendell is unable to play again with him and Jaden Williams out, we'll be a bit of a patchwork unit there. Hopefully, Day will be healthy enough to give us some quality reps. So you're right, we're banged up in the secondary, and we're young when it comes to depth. I think most people in today's day and age are, because your older depth leaves, and so you're left with some young inexperienced depth that we've got to baptize really quickly.
Questions?
Yeah, you mentioned it being now a one-game season. Obviously, you guys have to win out at this point to be below eligible. Is there a heightened sense of urgency or maybe even panic among the guys, or what's the vibe kind of around the team?
I don't think panic. The last 2 days, it's such a whirlwind turnaround. You play Friday night, you get home at 1 in the morning, and on Sunday you're having a Tuesday practice. And so I think they know it's at stake. I think I hadn't given it much thought, but now that you asked, I've actually been somewhat proud of kind of the 1-0 mentality that they've taken, kind of understanding that we've got to move on. And I told them in our team meeting, we put ourselves here. We have nobody else to blame but us. But the fight isn't over. We're in the corner. We put ourselves there by fighting a really bad fight for the first few rounds. We got 4 rounds left, and we're going to find out a lot about our guys in terms of their willingness to do whatever it takes to fight out of this corner.
Yeah, is there anything specifically that you think would be key to turning the season around?
Well, it's playing better in the second half. It's still the one that perplexes me, because we knew it had become an issue heading into the second bye week, and we addressed it ad nauseum. We watched every series in the second half. First, you want to diagnose the scheme, right? Are we calling bad plays into bad looks, bad coverages, and bad routes, on that side of the ball, so on and so forth. And kind of what I thought, with the iPads nowadays. I mean, you're very rarely surprised, on game day, and you kind of, what you see is what you get, and you're able to really diagnose it on those iPads. And so we've just got to figure out why our execution level, continues to wane in the second half. And I changed my approach just in terms of my tone, and at halftime, we got our guys out earlier, to get them warmer and looser. So we're trying to uncover every stone imaginable to get that part of it fixed, in terms of really just a level of execution that continues to fall instead of rise.
Yeah, looking ahead to ECU this week, do you think the short week, being that being played on a Thursday, do you think that kind of helps wipe the slate clean after playing against USF last week? I
really do. Yeah, I can't say enough about the timing. Having experienced what we experienced Friday night, heading into it, I couldn't have been more upset about the timing, having to go on the road on a short week to a team that's coming off a bye week. But now, like I said, having gone through what we did Friday night, it's been nice to be able to forcibly have to turn the page. I mean, we're sitting here on a Monday on the calendar, but we just finished our Wednesday practice, and we are fully dialed into East Carolina at this point.
All right.
Coach, not to go back to spoiled milk or anything, but the on-field incident, I wasn't here at the game. I caught that on TV, but obviously it blew up all over the national media. The lack of a handshake, or a forced handshake that was a little aggressive with Coach Golesh. Do you have any, now that you're a few days removed from that, do you have any thoughts on what exactly took place there?
Well, I appreciate you giving me a brief opportunity to clarify, because I'd heard kind of the same, like I was mad about something, or some 2-point conversion. I was worried about the next offensive drive. I thought that's just what the math of their 2-point chart said. So they kicked our butts, and especially in the second half, like we did to them, and like I have in all my years as a head coach. I jogged in the middle of the field, and actually got the words "good game" out of my mouth, and was about to compliment him, especially on the second half, and he slapped my hand down. And the way I was raised, when you slap another man's hand down, you stick around and talk about it. And so I turned back to finish. I was confused as to, I wasn't mad at anything. And so I turned back and wanted to figure out, what the confusion was about. And he continued to walk away. And hey, like I said, I moved on. I appreciate you giving me an opportunity to clarify, but we'll meet again someday, and we'll figure it out at that point.
I did go back and look at the film from last year and pulled up the exchange, and it was just about the same. You turned around, you didn't pursue, but you turned around, and it was kind of a look of like, why didn't you stop? So not the first time, second time.
I know how I handle post-game handshakes, win, lose, or draw, and most coaches that I've been a part of or interacted with, and that's how I'll continue to do it, and not worry about how other people do.
I mean, at practice, I would say we just really work on just finding ways to keep me a versatile player, to where you can't just stop, me from just running the ball and then think, oh, you're not gonna have to worry about me anymore. But the coaches do a real good job of just making sure, like, I'm still a threat no matter where they put me at on the field.
One of the things that we've noticed too is that it's never that first tackler that takes you down. Is that just a good center of gravity that helps you out there?
Yeah, I'm already pretty short, so just me being able to run with a lower center of gravity. It makes it easier for me to just stay balanced and be able to gain my ground back after being, bumped or pushed around by a defender. So,
What are you guys looking forward to going into ECU this week?
man, just looking forward to bouncing back, making more big plays, and because when big plays happen, we see more life going to the team. So just seeing them, having more life after, we have more explosive plays and hopefully coming home with a W. That's the plan.
Questions?
You mentioned bouncing back. What do you think really needs to happen as a group for you guys to turn the season around? Because obviously you guys need to win out at this point.
Just finish. Don't be complacent with a lead when we have a lead, and just keep our foot on the gas. Just continue to do the things that we got to do to win, and just not think that a team's just going to quit because they're down.
What's kind of like the vibe around the locker room? Are the guys, worried or they panicked?
There's no panic. There's no worry. It's just we know what we have to do, and we're working to get that done. We're working to fix that. But there's never really been any moments where we go to the locker room, everybody's just down and frustrated because we know the work that we put in. So, everybody's vibe's still the same. We coming in every day to work, and we know we can turn this around. We know we got to win out, so that's what we're going to try to do.
Looking ahead to ECU, does the short week kind of help you guys wipe the slate clean from the USF game last week?
Hey, repeat it one more time.
The short week you guys are playing on Thursday this week is, the quick turnaround kind of help you guys wipe the slate clean from last week's loss?
We still kind of, bruised up, banged up, looking at wounds, but short week, you got to let it go, got to move on. You can't let those same mistakes, cloud your mind when there's another task at hand and it's coming pretty fast, a lot faster than normal. So,
I noticed the picture that we used for a special we did today that you were featured in, had you doing some blocking, and I think that that's something that, looking at the numbers here, last year ECU, when you weren't here, they were pretty much a defensive-minded team, not so heavily oriented on offense, but this year they've kind of flipped the script. They're averaging 30 points a game and doing a couple other things. So, given the sacks that they're putting up, you may get, pulled into that role a little bit more. Can you just talk about how you guys scheme for a situation like that where you're going to need to probably protect, Cam a little bit more?
It's the same run into any game. Whatever coach's game plan is, that's what we tend to go with. I don't really know how they come up with all that, but I just, go out there and execute. But, that's nothing when it comes to blocking. As a running back, you have to be able to do all phases of the game, be able to run in between and outside the tackles, be able to catch the ball, and pass protection is another thing, So, that's just something that comes with the game. I'm not really too much worried about it. As long as I trust my rules and my training, I'll be all right.
So I'll take it in a little bit different direction. So the announcers actually called you out for being good at that. And that's one of the reasons I was kind of asking you. So you take pride in also not just running the ball, but providing protection for your leaders. So that's kind of where I was,
Yeah, well.
Are you taking a little bit more, heart to that? Given he's getting banged up a lot. And I think, you could definitely help play a part in this week for sure.
Yeah. Me and Cam are pretty close, and then again, it's a quarterback. You always want to take care of your quarterback if they put you in that role to do that. So then again, the game that we're in now, especially to get to the next level, get to the league, there's a lot of backs out there that have to be able to pass protect. And in the league, you can't really be a one-dimensional back. They usually don't carry that many.
Right.
Unless you're just Saquon Barkley or somebody like that, and that being able to pass protect is just something you have to be able to do, and I take pride in it because I'm good at it, and it just boosts my, I'll just say my resume to get
your stock.
Yeah.
Stock price go up.
Yes, sir.
There you go. All right. Good.
All right.
On the defensive side, more so like up front, just us being in our gaps, us playing gap side defense and dominating our ball. I'd have been in these situations before, and what I be telling the D-line this is the time we all got to come together as one and just fight it out and be at our best. Because when our best is needed, like that's when the team is like having success. When the D-line is at our best.
Based on the stats looking at yesterday, it seems like they do a nice job protecting that quarterback. and he does pass the ball quite a bit. Is that something that you guys are focusing on this week, is just pushing in against a strong offensive line?
As somewhat, but as playing D-line, it's always been, you got to dominate the man in front of you at first before you get to the quarterback. So that's what we've been preaching on all week, is dominating our box, doing our 111, and just playing within the defense.
One of the things that they do well, which is keeping them alive and enabling them to get some distance between opponents, is their third down conversion rate, which is 43%. As she mentioned, they're not really giving up a lot of sacks. So what are you guys specifically working on to try to stop that third down conversion, if anything?
See, third downs, we want to like the top of third down conversion. So third down, just trusting our keys, keying the ball, no stupid penalty, like jumping off sides, giving them free yardage for plays, and really just beating the man in front of us. That's what gonna get us sacks and rushing for us one.
And also coattailing, because she opened this up as well, they're 51% pass team. We're closer to 60, and I think a lot of the teams in the conference lean more towards the rush. So this is, I think, the first team that's typically a pass first that we've faced in conference. Is that fair? Yeah, so I just wanted, can you talk a little bit more about the game plan? Are you guys going to specifically try to get pressure on that to stop the conversions?
With the D-line, just, like I said, playing within the defense, really just rushing forward one, knowing what's at stake, knowing like we got to rush together to get the quarterback down. And again, no stupid penalties as far as outside and just doing the extra stuff after the plays.
Okay.
Anybody else?